Hello everyone and welcome back to LSI F1.5 EU Championship. We're back and we're here for the Great British Grand Prix. It is raining for qualifying. It does mean that we're going to get some very slippery cars, as Zingy said earlier on. That's just how we like it. A dry race as well for some great racing around a circuit like this. You're always going to get great racing, just maybe not great track limits. As we see in the first few seconds of the live stream, it's not that easy to keep it within the track. You can see that is a controller disconnected, so I do apologise. You can see that the track is just so difficult, especially with people running dry setups on a wet surface. Zingy, how does this affect your race strategy because you're not using any soft tyres?
Well, it depends on how good you are with the tyres. You could use somewhat of an aggressive strategy if you do struggle perhaps with pace, but you do well with tyres. So you could see some people further back trying that medium soft. We see Niffle in an F1 race go for that soft tyre. He went for his safety car pit stop, but granted he would have went onto the medium tyres to finish that race and could have scored some good points because of it. And because these people have new tyres for the race, both medium, soft and hard, then it's going to be quite easy, I think, compared to the F1 race to really just eke the tyres out. Because the softs, we know it's Silverstone, you don't lose that much time on the hards and mediums initially because of it's just flat out most of the time. But it would be nice to get that extra bit of advantage, wouldn't it?
It would be. It would definitely be nice to have that advantage. Alrighty, let's see. Beckon into the pit lane. It's difficult to tell what drivers are going to be doing in intermediate conditions because usually you'd say, oh, they're going to stay out, but if they bottled their lap, they might go in and carry on later on in the session. 10 minutes to go, still quite a way. That is Devon Young backing off, currently sitting in P3 with his teammate in P1, Robbo, P4, crossing the line once again. What's it going to be for him? That's going to be P2 for now, but he's still 3 tenths away.
3 tenths? Oh. I mean, there's no track evolution, is there? Because basically the rain falls down, and all that rubber that you're laying down all just immediately get washed away to the side. And you may think, well, won't it be offline? Which the answer to that is not really, especially in the game. The rubber gets washed away completely. So you get no track evolution, and you might find time here and there as we see Robbo struggling a bit on the dry setup, going a bit wide. But Mikash's 33.6 is, let's be honest, it could be good for up to P5, you reckon? Because not many people might find improvements, especially if the conditions are set to get worse.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty, that is 2 DNFs of the session now. Track evolution or not, Gibby and Tom Brainer are not going to care. Luckily, Tom Brainer crashed across the line, so they still got a lap in. Gibby, not so fortunate either. Robbo, not so fortunate, and he's lucky to keep that one out of the wall. That was a concrete barrier, not a tyre wall. So that is, a bit of an escape there. He should be pretty happy with himself. Mika's trying to get his tyres warmed up. You can see us right on the inside on the entry to Cops and then kind of swinging right and left and just weaving, because you have to do that in the wet conditions to get the fronts kind of warmed up. Otherwise, it's just not that straightforward. Peanuts up to P3. I think he set that lap recently. Lots of people are setting laps recently. It's very difficult to figure out who's doing what, because some people might all of a sudden go into the pit lane. We will see the current pole sitter start a lap at some point soon, so I think we might go and watch on board with him. Zingy, I would ask if you like to. If you don't want to, just say no. Look on board with this lap and see if you can get another AlphaTauri on pole today.
Well, I guess I can take you through it. Coming at the last corner in the dry, the traction's very tricky there. With the curb being a bit slippery, it's going to be even worse. Now, out of the last corner, onto the front straight, into turn 1, you want to hold it in 7th, left off a bit, run the car all the way out to the outside before keeping it inside for turn 3. This part of the track is very slippery and very hard to get the traction down, especially in wet conditions. You will see me comparing that a lot throughout this lap. Coming onto the straight now, we go flying down at almost 200 mph, even in the wet conditions, and braking now towards this complex, it's left and right, and it's really tough to get the car stopped through here. You can see Mikash goes a bit wide, but that is the preferred line. Go a bit wide, straighten the car up as much as you possibly can. Coming into Cop's corner now. This is a place that's infamous for their overtakes and crashes, and let's hope for Mikash's sake he can make it through nicely. Downshifting to 7th gear, which is what you need to do because the traction's just not there. Here comes Maggots and Bergets now. A fast sequence of corners, going right then left, really chucking the car in as much as you can, considering how bad the weather's getting, and it looks as though it's getting a bit worse near the end of this lap. Mikash though isn't phased. He's 2 tenths up coming into the final sector. Stowe is one of the trickiest corners of the track, as we see Dave Raptors going pole position, but Mikash seems to hold the speed through there absolutely amazingly. And coming into the final chicane now, he can't touch that curb on the inside, otherwise it will launch it. And there on the inside again, run the car onto the curb a little bit for the exit, and it's going to be a 33.3, which puts him marginally ahead of Dave Raptors.
I have to say that is a very, very tidy lap indeed, improving massively Mikash from last season. The amount of progress that he's made is absolutely incredible. He's got 2 McLarens right behind him, his teammate in P6. That is pretty good indeed. Dave Raptors isn't far behind. He's still got a little bit more time, and he is, I believe, on a... What, it says 0 laps, but he's recently set a fastest lap, no?
I'm not too sure about that one, unless he set it a bit earlier on, which we haven't noticed, but I'm not too sure about that.
Right, well, regardless, this lap isn't going to be quick, because he just had a massive moment on the exit of Cop, so that is unfortunately going to be that one done, and he's going to back off and get ready for one final lap. As long as he doesn't impede the guys behind, he'll be absolutely fine. He is going to move out the way in a dramatic fashion. And we are going to go and have a look at the other AlphaTauri, Devon Young. What's he doing? Purple middle sector, it says for now. We won't quite know what the actual lap is going to be until we cross the line, but we will find out if he can try and challenge his teammate up at the top, almost losing everything at the corner that I've never seemed to make in my entire life. And on the exit now, across the line, we will go eventually. You're just going to try and put your foot down as early as possible. And that's a P3, splitting the 2 McLarens, a 33.6. Not bad, but still quite away from the top 2.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the gap. Those front 2, Mikash and Dave Raptors, the current leader of the championship, are separated by only a couple hundred, yeah. And we also see Devon Young, he's 3 tenths back from these guys, and then Robbo, again, is from 3 tenths back. Peanuts is closer to Robbo than Robbo is Devon Young. And now, for McLaren, that's concerning. I mean, we've seen the first few rounds, these guys are the people to watch out for the race win. They've proved to themselves that they can do well, and in this battle, you need Robbo to kind of pick up the pace a bit, and I understand it's wet, but is he struggling on the track, or do you reckon it's just because of the conditions?
Conditions, probably. That's the more likely option of the two. Track-wise, it's kind of relative in a way sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't suit you, but sometimes it does. But everybody's going to be in the same boat at least, so hopefully they can have a little bit of assurance with that and maybe make progress later on. We've got Grosjean going purple in the middle sector as he's going nice and quick, improving a little bit. Currently, when I looked at the sector line through sector 1, he wouldn't be going anywhere compared to where he currently is. In the middle sector, I'm not entirely sure how he was looking, but we will cross the line with the Williams driver. Goes around the final corner, doesn't lose the car, keeps it out the wall, and that is going to be a 2/10 improvement overall, and it won't be enough to get to the other cars. He will have time to go again and again if he wants to try it, but he won't have time to go into the pit lane. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit of an issue here for Grosjean. That might be his day pretty much sorted. We're on board with Peanuts now, who is starting a lap as well. We'll go through the first kind of, I guess it's a chicane, and on the exit as he rides the AstroTurf, usually in the dry, not in the wet here. That's what Peanuts opts for anyway. DRS is not available. Go down the straight anyway and into turn 6 and 7. Very, very high speed on entry, low traction on exit as you get through 7, but can he get it done? Car rotated, you're going to want that on the setup. It's not going to be so straightforward as they are running dry setups with the wet conditions, as we've said before. Lots of people in the pit lane, by the way. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Gilly's gone on plonked on the soft tyres, I don't know if it's maybe looking like it should be getting drier later and he's going to try and take a risk. JJ hasn't set a lap. He's on his way out. Both Ferraris are the only drivers to not set laps so far. I don't know if they're trying to do some sort of like driver of the day master plan or... Anyway, enough of that. Car moves out the way. We've got a final sector to go through with Peanuts here. Through Stowe, nicely done. Not over yet. There you go. He's got that secured. Into the chicane. Braking as hard as he can without locking the brakes too much. You want a little bit of rotation to get the car through. And once again, at the final corner, not putting it in the wall. And across the line, it's going to be a P3 for now. Half a second improvement. And he's so close to the top two. He might have a bit more time yet to go.
Yeah, and he's still pushing again for one more lap. Remember, the ERS won't be nearly as used as it would be on a dry lap, considering how much slower you will be going. Peanuts is making a name for himself here in Qatar. He qualified within the top 6, I'm sure, and now in Silverstone, yet again, he's proving that he can go really quick in qualifying, with only being 400 off provisional pole at the moment.
Interesting still from Gilly. He's not come out the pit lane, so that is going to be him starting pretty much last as long as JJ sets at least a lap. So that is a shame for him, but it's the way it's gone, and it's the way it will go. Becken, also a new driver along with Peanuts. They're both friends, I believe, both from Sweden, and he's going to try his best to set one final lap, but the traffic is looking pretty difficult at the moment as he struggles with the wheel. Still improving a massive amount, but he got a bit of oversteer, which he's not going to be happy with. I think he's still going to go, as you said, Zinger, you can go for multiple laps, but with the cars up in front, it's not going to be that easy, and I think he's going to struggle to improve over that one.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake can cost you a lot of time in the way, especially with just trying to keep that momentum up. And that's what can happen. Oggio going over the line. Oh no, he's starting a lap, my apologies. We're seeing he's P9 at the moment. Not doing too bad, but you know, Oggio would prefer to be up there in that top 5, where he has shown some good glimpses of pace, but can be a bit inconsistent at times. Didn't he get a podium at Japan? I do remember that. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but he was there when it counted, and he did get that podium. But qualifying is over, and whoever's on a lap, this will be the last one.
That is Ogier making a bit of a mistake on the exit of turn 5, dipping a wheel into the grass, but still somehow keeping a composed line. That is Grajak, Monk, and Gilly done with qualifying. Everybody else is there. There's a bit of a distraction there for Oggio from the Alfa Romeo as he made a few more mistakes. It's going to be very difficult for him to improve, at least up to the top guys. Peanuts sitting in P2. He's got one more lap in the bag if he possibly can. Did he save enough energy? It's gonna look difficult. He's actually backed off. Mikash looking to try and defend their current fastest lap, their pole position. JJ's gonna cross the line to set his first lap, and they go P15. At least they've got one in, and they've jumped a few cars. That is good news indeed. The McLaren goes across the line. Dave Raptors will not improve in the end. The smallest of margins, but it's not gonna get him the front row. Can his teammates say anything about that? He can't. He's going to be P4. He's going to be sitting right behind his teammate. Mikash, though, looking to defend this. Peanuts does still have the opportunity to get a lap in. Ogier across the line. What's it going to be? Mikash. And it's going to be a massive improvement there. Peanuts has backed off. That's qualifying over. How about that?
Mikash again defending it at the last moment. And he's got pole. No one can challenge him except for Peanuts. Peanuts has managed to split Mikash from the McLarens, which Mikash, I know himself, will be very happy with that one.
Indeed he will. And look at the margins. He's got a bit of a margin between the other cars, so he's going to be very happy with that one. Peanuts may be a bit disappointed. I don't know if they made a mistake or I don't know. Anyway, the gap between P3, P4 and P5 is not big at all, and even P6 as well. The gap is very, very small. It's going to be a very interesting race, very competitive. And, well, knowing F1.5 EU, there's going to be a safety car as soon as the lights go out. So that's going to put some strategy involved. If it does happen, we will probably continue the race, and then we're going to have to try and figure out what's going on. I'll do my research and see what I can do. But other than that, we're just going to have to continue. We will find out, though, very, very shortly. Just waiting on Peanuts to retire the car. and we'll be good to go for the race. We'll get the results up on the screen as well. That is Mikash on pole position in the AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri loving life. They won the championship last season for the drivers, and he's going to try and bring it to them this time around. Mikash takes pole position, Peanuts in P2, Dave Raptors in P3, and then we'll skim through the race director just in case if we need to later on, although we probably don't. It should be all good. Pit stops, you don't see anything, but we put it on the screen anyway. We will see you in a bit. Ready, hold, go! Who's gonna get it into turn one? We are finally away. Mikash in pole position. They've got the Aston Martin to the inside. It's not a safety car. A perfect start. And that is Peanuts just about holding on, but not for long. Dave Raptors takes it. He's in P2 for his home Grand Prix. The other McLaren wants to get involved, but it's not gonna work. Dave Raptors is down the order. It's almost 3 wide. They're fighting so hard, and Mikash is running away with it. This is looking easy for him at the moment. Ogyo also having issues. I don't quite know what's going on. Peanuts still defending just from the other McLaren this time around the outside, now having the inside line. Robbo should be good to go. Surely on the traction, he has the advantage. He's pushing him to the absolute limit. That's perfect. He's going to back off. Maybe Devon Young can try and get involved, but I think he's going to have to slot in behind and wait for now.
Yeah, Peanuts on the track once again. Here he comes into Magus and Beckett. Surely not. Surely one of them's going to have to back out. Peanuts doesn't, but he has to the last moment, and Robbo snatches P2 away from Aston Martin, and now he's going to be susceptible to Devon Young. But that start, whoa, that was incredible. There's a spin further back. I think there's contact between Gilly and Dave Raptors, crucially. He did get spun off by the start by Mikash, as we see Devon Young going for that move on Peanuts. He seems to be struggling at the moment. And will he try and look for the move back up the inside? No, he has a little look, but he's not going to go for it.
Lovely, lovely jubbly. That is Peanuts, not lovely jubbly. They're P2 to P4. Even more problems there for Dave Raptors, of course, as he lost all of that. He's not going into the pit lane, so he doesn't have damage, but damage for Tom Brainer, it seems like, because there was a big cluster of cars as they went down the hangar straight, but I don't know. We didn't get to see what was going on there. So it is what it is. Mikash leads the way. 1.4 seconds in front at the moment. He's on the hard tyre. Look at this. Devon Young already challenging Robbo to try and go for the move before DRS is kicking in. I would think they're probably going to try and work together to catch Mikash before DRS does kick in, so they can get DRS off the AlphaTauri, but they are wanting to try and find their way through. Maybe they're believing that they are actually a lot quicker. We will see. all within 1 second from P1 to P2 to P7. Gunter does have a bit of a gap. He's got pressure from, well, I was going to say JJ behind. JJ's a little bit further behind. We've got Yami, who's nice and close to Gibby. They might have a look, but a bit of a cluster of cars. A car going off. That's the Williams of Monk going off. There's a switch up with Monk's and Flexard as he makes that progress. There's so many things to look at, and I don't quite know where to look, but we're going to look at Gilly. The Alpine is going to be in trouble. He's going to use the energy as best as he can. Will he get the opportunity, though? Defensive was Waldy with the energy, but he's still sending it to the inside. The Alpine backs out, and that invites Flexard into the battle, and he's made that move.
Yeah, I think a bit of damage for Mog and Waldo, as you see he's struggling to maintain possession, so they're both into the pits. Maybe some contact between them at Cop's corner. I'm not sure if it was them two or someone else. I do apologise if I get that wrong. However, you can see visibly on the Williams a massive chunk, but looking back towards the battle for the lead, Mikash 1 millisecond ahead of getting DRS. No! Robbo's managed to get it somehow. However, that battery is looking like it's on life support at the moment. In comparison to Devin Young, he's loving life at the moment, and the battle for 9th is also heating up a bit. You see Gibby trying for a move down the inside of JJ, coming onto the exit of Woodcote now. Will he get the traction? It doesn't look like it. He just can't seem to find a way past at the moment.
It's not too easy. The opening stages of the race, DRS is now available, and it is a slipstream DRS train heavy circuit, and that is also a track limit heavy circuit as JJ finds his first one on the Exeter Cups. That's not going to be ideal for him. He's still nice and close, so he might be able to make that at least worth it, but goes off the circuit again. That might have been his second. We cannot tell until later on. He is going to go for the move on the Mercedes. Can he secure the move, and can he maintain it to the inside? What was going on there? I do not believe it. That's Grozakov. That is the Mercedes not going into the pit lane, interestingly. The virtual safety car is deployed. What happened to Grozak?
I think out of stall he may have just lost the back end. I'm sure he was battling Becken for P5. I was just watching it, and after the overtake, I don't think there was contact because he was clear, but I think Grozak might have just lost the car and had a bit of an incident with himself, which is really unfortunate. He's shown some great pace, but points aren't on the board, and that's exactly what you need to win championships. However, the virtual safety car is out, and yeah, I'm wondering why. Was it Gibby or Gunter who made the contact? It was Gibby. Gibby made the contact. You can see that front light end plate is. Oh no! The top two have got the drive-through penalty. Oh no! And that means Devin Young is going to take the lead of the race.
I do not believe it. He's now going to be able to relax. He knows that these guys have to make a pit stop. He's going to have to focus on Peanuts now. Peanuts is going to want to get in front of Devin Young after that. That is absolutely tragic. Both drivers getting caught out in that part of the circuit. Not easy at all. I was going to talk about Grozak, but I think we should probably talk about Robbo and Mikash. Are they going to fight to try and overtake each other before they go into the pit lane? Will Mikash go straight into the pit lane or not? Robbo's still going to go for the move. He is going to go for the move. I do not believe it. He's going to have the inside line. He's going to dictate who goes into the pit lane, and he's forcing Mikash to stay out, whether he liked it or not. He's going to back off and just try and secure this position without letting his teammate go for now. He doesn't want that to happen. I mean, it would make sense to try and let Devin Young go so he could help out away from Peanuts, but Peanuts is going to be right there and he doesn't care what's going on. He just needs to spot what is going on, spot opportunities, and then have a go at making a move. As I said previously, again and again and again, the double overtake is what you want. That's the golden opportunity in league racing.
Well, either way, Devin Young's going to get the double overtake, whether it be on track or not, as we see Mikash and Robbo fighting again. I'd call this stupid, but it's also entertaining for us at least. Robbo squeezing Mikash out. And next at Woodcote, once again, who's going to get the better traction? Robbo has got that straighter line, while Mikash has to take a more, tight line. And coming into Cop's corner now, they are side by side, there's nothing between them whatsoever. Into Cops we go now. Robbo backs out, but will he get the switch back? It looks as though he's got a bit more momentum coming into Magus and Beckett's for the 5th time this race. He backs out, he's not going to go for the move, and this leaves Devin Young with a difficult decision. Does he overtake, or does he risk it and maybe get overtaken by the the Aston Martin of Peanuts.
I don't think he should, because these guys are fighting so hard it would just go completely wrong. He doesn't need to risk it. These guys are kind of thinking, okay, this isn't going to work. He's going to try and go into the pit lane, and that is timed. I was going to say to perfection there for Robbo, but it's got even worse. And again, even worse. And he gets a 5-second, but not only that, a 3-second time penalty. He was just a little bit too aggressive on the pit lane entry and cut the corner. Devon Young leads the way. Peanuts in P2. And he's got his two rivals out of contention right now. Dave Raptors, of course, down in P13. He's going to be promoted 2 positions. What a crazy race so far. And Robbo, even if he wants to try and make progress later on, it's not going to be that easy. Peanuts not going for the move yet, but he's just going to be able to relax with his teammate. Well, not teammate, but friend, then his teammate right behind him.
This race has been turned upside down. From what it looked like, AlphaTauri and McLaren domination could turn into somewhat of Aston Martin territory, as we see Terrence, is only 3 seconds behind. So if these guys battle too much, you know what can happen? He could maybe get his first podium. He was talking about it before the race started, and he feels confident that he could get it, but for now, he's P4, and with these guys battling a lot of the time, it could open up the opportunity for him to get past.
Talking about battling, we're looking at the 2 Red Bulls. They've been switching up here and there, and we've got JJ sitting right behind, but he has got himself a time penalty, unfortunately, so maybe just struggling in the dirt. Yeah, DRS not available for Oggio. He tried his best to get to Gunter. By the way, Gunter doing a phenomenal job today. Doesn't matter for Oggio, though, because Jaromir is going through anyway. He's going to back off, let him go, try and have a go later on. I don't know, but they just need to focus on catching the Mercedes first, because they both need to kind of realise the logos on their car and then figure out from there. Balance sitting right behind this battle. We've got Gilly from the back of the grid in P10 at the moment. He's into the points and making that progress. They've got Dave Raptors behind them and not too far away though, so it's going to be a pretty difficult feat to try and keep those guys behind.
Gunter making a crucial mistake. Thankfully for himself, Jaromir will not get DRS coming onto the Wellington Straight, but that means Jaromir was now going to be under pressure from Oggio. He's going to do it, the double delay, and he's going to make the overtake stick. He's done it. The Red Bull strategy appears to have been worked out. None of them got DRS, and Oggio just flew by.
Oh, that was the Jaromir having JJ stuck to the inside, so he couldn't actually get a better exit and try and go for a move on Gunter. That is now Mercedes splitting these cars. That is a retirement there for Waldo in the pit lane, so no safety car will be deployed. And that is the second retirement of the race. Alrighty, this battle is still on. It's going to be very interesting. The top 3 just kind of running on their own. They know what they need to do, and they are focusing on getting the job done. We also have Robbo and Mikash working together as well at that point, but this battle kind of stays as it is for now. It was boiling up, but it just didn't quite boil over. We might see something change into the chicane though. Would he want to have a go? No, he's not going to send it.
Nah, he's not going to take that risk, but who is? It's Balin! He's knocked over the curb, and he's knocked into the Ferrari of JJ, which makes him susceptible to the other Ferrari of Gilly. Here we go, round the outside. Job done. No bother whatsoever, and now Gilly, from last on the grid, he's up to P9. The Ferrari Driver of the Day Championship is heating up here. Who's going to get it? We don't know yet.
It is very, very tricky, and I just saw from behind there, you got Dave Raptors following these guys, and I was going to say he's looking very racy with the setup that he usually runs is absolutely crazy, but instead he's made a mistake, and Flexard, although being forced off the circuit momentarily, still manages to get through, so well done from Flexard there to get that job done. That is a soft tyre there for Gibby, as he goes for the fastest lap pretty early on. But anyway, Dave Raptors, I was going to say, yeah, absolutely perfect setup, and he's really using the rotation to his advantage, but unfortunately it was a bit of a curse, and he's got to be careful that he doesn't dip a wheel into the gravel either. That is the Alfa Romeo trying to stay in front, but it's not so straightforward. These guys, though, yet again, the snake is travelling through Magnus and Beckett's, but the 2 Red Bulls have run away with it almost. JJ's just about stayed within, and Oggio is good to go on his own at the moment.
Yeah, that's Red Bull strategy, accidental or not, is worked out well. Oggio on the now better hard tyres compared to Yaromir's mediums. will be loving this. P5 and 6. And you may think, that's not very good for Red Bull, but unfortunately they've had some bad luck in the few races, and that means that, well, not as much points being scored. But Jaromir, look at him, he's 1.2 ahead. Jaromir has found the pace on those medium tyres even when they are wearing off. And he's gone, he's 1.1 ahead.
Yeah, brilliant job from him. That was Gilly also making the move over Gunter, so they've both made progress there. That is a P7 and P8, despite Gilly starting last. He is right up there, so well done to him. That is how it goes with Gilly. Usually it's just whether he can stay out of time penalty range, which he usually does. So can he gain advantages later on? If he stays like this, he will gain an advantage over his teammate already. So that is good news on his side, of course. Dave Raptors, we know he's been so quick. He's leading the championship not only by himself but with his team as well. Of course, Robbo having those issues, not quite up there yet, but they will try and make progress later. Not able to find a way on Ballant at the moment, and you can really see how difficult it actually is to make any overtakes in a DRS train around this circuit. Can he secure a good exit and maybe go for it this lap though? He's got a bit of energy, he's got the better exit. No way is he going to back out of this one. He'll go for the move, he'll try and tuck in the slipstream to give himself every advantage over the Haas. The Haas isn't going to fight that one, they'll let him go.
I think Ballant realises the bigger situation here, and he's going to think, well, Dave Raptor's leading the championship. He's one of, if not the quickest in the tier. He's not going to battle him, and maybe he can be paving the path for himself to get up the order when Dave Raptors does make that move, which may have to be in unorthodox areas, which could set him up brilliantly for that Haas to get through.
Yeah, interestingly, I just saw something switch up between Mikash and Robbo, and at the point they were on the circuit, they were going through Stowe. They are on their own at the moment. They've had to serve a drive-through penalty. I thought they'd probably be doing a bit of a DRS slipstream thing, but instead they're fighting each other, which just doesn't make sense to me. They're still catching the cars in front. The cars in front have been battling pretty hard. As you see, once again, they are, well, I say battling. He did just kind of back out on that one, which is probably the smart thing to do. You've got the very quick McLaren trying to make progress, but yeah, they're still battling side by side, these guys, which isn't going to be the fastest way to catch up to the cars in front. I don't know what you'd be doing, Zingy, but I would definitely not be doing that. To the inside is Ballant, just about avoiding contact with Flexard. Very, very nicely done between both drivers, keeping it clean. That's not easy to do.
Oh, and there goes Peanuts, round the outside of Devin Young, coming into the Vale now. Well, he managed to get the move done, coming at the final corner now, onto the main straight. This is the Hamilton straight now, it's called. Under the bridge they will go, and who's going to get it? Devin Young is still side by side. A bit of frustrating from the in-game driver, but here goes Devin Young. He's absolutely smashed it, and now he's back up into P1.
Lovely, lovely job, Lee. I thought we could have seen maybe Beckham try and jump in on the attack and have a go at getting both moves done, but I'll be honest, I don't think he's really thinking about that too much, because if these two fight each other hard, they're going to be focusing on each other. He can then just have a clear mind and then go for some sort of strategy masterclass. It could definitely work. We saw back a while ago in Pursoon's first ever season, his second race and the finale for 2 seasons ago in F1.5, Silverstone and the top 3 were fighting. After the pit stops, they were just completely spread out. Gilly making that move over their teammate, now going to try and hunt down Oggio if he can, but after all of that battling, 3.7 seconds is the gap that splits them. That is tough.
Yeah, Oggio doing a fantastic job, only 6 seconds behind Terran, sorry, and he's only 5 seconds away, so theoretically, if these guys battle too much, Oggio could potentially undercut, not overtake, let's be realistic here, but can gain a bit of time. I know his tyres would go off earlier, but if you can just sniff that DRS, even for a lap, he could be in with a shout, although he needs to push as hard as he can, especially when these guys are battling.
For sure indeed. We're not going to see any moves for now. Everybody's kind of just staying where they are. We did have a quick look at the top 3 just a moment ago just to check. That is a pit stop there for Dave Raptors. That's an interesting one. Nice early pit stop. Is anybody going to follow him? Doesn't seem like it.
Nah. Well, listen, Dave Raptors has had a poor race. Well, it wasn't his fault, I'll be real. He did get punted by Peanuts on lap 1, but he just hasn't been able to cut his way through the traffic quick enough. I thought Dave, with that extra pace, would be able to fly through, but at the moment it doesn't look like it. However, this gamble onto medium tyres is early, which, by the way, will make it to the end. But the issue is with that, as we see, oh, hold on a minute, here comes Balin on the outside of Gunter for the final championship point. He's going to squeeze him onto the curb a little bit, going down with Colt right now, oh not Woodcote, sorry, the Wellington straight, and Moe get the move done and braking right around the outsides, but he can't seem to find the traction and the grip to get past Gunter, fighting for Mercedes, who have not had the best of starts either to the championship. He goes a bit wide off the track a little bit and coming into Cops now. Who is going to be the one who relinquishes the position? It looks as though none of them are giving up until Ballet decides that he's going to, he's going to go off the track actually and lose a bit of time, but some good battling between them two, and Gunter really fighting for this 1 point.
For sure indeed. I don't think the top three are going to be reacting to Dave Raptors. It wouldn't really be that well thought out, because not only has Dave Raptors got such a gap between them, he's come out in traffic. He's behind both Gibby and Monk, and he's just made a little bit of contact. Hopefully that's not damage. It shouldn't be damage, but yeah, that's not good for Dave Raptors. Making progress, trying to make a strategy master plan, but it's just not going to work out if that's the case. Yarmir might also suffer if this is going to be a problem for him.
As we see Monk going for the move on Gibby, and Dave Raptors is going to just like, yep, I'm going to fly past you both on the fresh tyres, up into P15, which is something I've not said that often, especially for a driver of Dave Raptors' calibre. But he's managed to get back up into P15 very swiftly. As we see the Red Bull of Yarmir making a pit stop, he was on those medium tyres, however, so that would make sense. It looks as though Dave Raptors will get ahead, however, he already was. But do you think he's going to gain? I think he might have lost like half a second battling those lot, but overall, do you think he's going to gain some time?
I think he can. He's in clearer now, and if these two in front, I'm not saying that they're a problem, but they are definitely on a different kind of strategy. Oh, no, that's one of them gone, so then it should be a pretty straightforward DRS move. As Monk got damage, he doesn't, so he is good to carry on, but that is heartbreaking. Fighting for podiums at the start of the season, now at the back of the grid, that is not where we want to see this guy. Beckon into the pit lane.
Beckon going for it. He thinks he can get that undercut on the guys ahead. And remember, I know I did say Silverstone is not a track where tyres make too much of a difference, but 13 laps compared to, well, fresh medium tyres should see him into the lead, but by how much? Does he want to use that battery, get out of DRS, or does he want to just conserve the battery and just have that track position for later on in the race? What would you do, Aaron? That's a good question.
Later on in the race, definitely. That's what I used to do. It's not what I did in the F1.5 game, but it's what I used to do, and it's what I'd love to get back to. So that's definitely what I'm going to be doing. That is Beckon out of the pit lane now. They are a little way behind. They do have time to try and catch up. They've got both Robbo and Mikas just in front. Robbo and Mikas almost within DRS range of Gunter, and that would allow them to get right into the battle. The cars up in front are close together. They are kind of spread out now, so it's not so straightforward after all, but yeah, definitely getting closer. We do have to watch the top two though, see what they're doing. Terence also, he's got a bit of a difficult situation. 6.5 seconds is more or less the gap that you need to get a perfect double stack. It's going to be Devon Young sending it to the inside line. He's not going to be successful, but he's definitely put the pressure on. I think he wanted to be in the lead as he went into the pit lane, and that is going to be peanuts into the pit lane. You could see how much faster they were going to Devon Young, and that is now all of a sudden one Swedish driver, unfortunately, with the 5-second time penalty, and his good old friend is going to be not loving that, but he will be able to gain a nice advantage, not only with that, but with the undercut too.
Yeah, that's what it takes. A little bit of a mistake, a little bit of pressure from Devon Young into the pit lane, perhaps thinking he had to brake a bit later than he actually did. And yeah, that's it. He's now ahead of Devon Young, of course, but we need to take a look at our eyes. We'll focus our eyes on to, where is he? I can't find him. Beckon, there he is. Coming into turn one now, he is, oh no, he's not miles ahead. He is only P2. And professionally P2, he didn't gain that much time. Devin Young has lost a place, yes, but he's got a lap fresher tyres, and we've seen in the F1 race that one lap fresher tyres can be make or break for your race. But Becken, he's not having any of that. He's going to go for the move immediately on the warm medium tyre, sorry, and up into P5. And once the pit stops, make their way through, he's going to be back up into P1, but can he pull that second gap that he's been desiring for a long time?
I don't know. We will find out very, very shortly. But, yeah, it's not going to be easy, is it? They might catch up to the cars in front, as they are on much fresher tyres, which could put a spanner in the works. It might help Devon Young get through if he can spot an opportunity. But time will tell how that goes. Mikash and Robbo, are they going to be pitting to get out the way, or are they going to just keep fighting and hope that the safety car comes out? Terrence into the pit lane. That is going to be Mikash in front. So they're not actually fighting at this point. I think they're just trying to lose minimal time. Not into the pit lane. They are into the pit lane. Not Robbo, though. He's going to carry on.
Maybe he wants fresher tyres than Mikash to attack and pull, but again, we've said that the fresher tyres are better, and, well, at the moment, it's not proving it, but once those guys get up to temperature, I can tell you that Becken might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yep, he might well be. That's Flexard and Balint side by side. Balint has the advantage, but he's still going to have to leave the space. The Alfa Romeo trying to momentarily look for a move. He's going to try and focus on the exit, but no. Very well held from Balint there. P12 at the moment. Pit stops will come into effect, and he might gain a few positions. That is Mikash dropping out. The points to P13. Would he go to P14? No. Maybe. Gunter. He's going to have warm tyres, but I don't think it's going to be good enough.
Yeah, Gunter trying to get into the DRS, you can see with Mikash, but Mikash, he shouldn't have got that drive for realistically, shouldn't he? I don't know about you, Aaron, you're going to have to explain this to me, because I don't understand, as we see Flexard making the move. Oh, squeezing him out a bit there, almost onto the curb and off to the runoff. Flexard giving Balint no space, and with that time penalty, he needs to make that aggressive move and get up into position 11, but Balint is still going to be there, so a bit of an interesting move, as we see also Becken going for the move on, oh my days, Robbo. Robbo is getting overtaken by both Peanuts and Becken, and he thinks, that's it, I've had enough of this, I'm going into the pits. Will he get it slowed down on time? Yes, he will. And that just goes to show how far away the McLarens are in this race.
Soft tyres, maybe. JJ into the pit lane as well. I don't know. We'll find out. Would he want to go for the soft tyres? There's more or less enough laps to let that carry on and go for that alternate strategy. It might be what he wants to risk. No, it's not going to happen.
Nah, he thought better of it. He thinks, well, I might as well just go mediums, be safe, and push to the end without having to worry about my tyres. Dave Raptors, by the way, compared to Max. Max is on one of the fresher sets of tyres. Not Max, Terran, sorry. Is on one of the fresher sets of tyres. He is 3.4 ahead of Dave Raptors. And you can just see that on the traction zones, he just can't find an answer to Terrans. And especially through the turn 3-4 sections, it's just so tough for him. And has he pit too early, do you reckon? I know like 1 and 2 laps can be a bit detrimental, but 4?
I don't know. I think, well, Dave Raptors, he has obviously pitted very early, but he has still made a decent amount of progress regarding the fact that he was in a little bit of traffic. He's managed to jump Oggio and Yaramir. So he did a very good job with that. Terrence has actually lost 4 seconds to the lead cars. They are all switching up. Devon Young going for the double overtake for the lead. Not going to work out so straightforward though. To the inside line he goes defensive. There's a little bit of contact. He's going to have to leave the space. The Alpines to the outside line on the throttle. Can they get it down smoothly? They can, and they are going to continue. It's so close. Almost losing the car, and you can just see once again Peanuts waiting behind, just trying to see how this is going to go. That is exactly what they didn't want to happen. The Alpine thought they had the advantage. They're still going to try and get into the lead. Is it going to work? On the exit, will he give Devon Young a taste of his own medicine? Not really, but he will still lead the way, and he gets DRS as well to defend.
Yeah, but the DRS isn't doing as much as what you would have thought of. Becken has the straight line speed just about. It goes a bit wide, maybe a bit scared of Devon Young trying that ludicrous dive bomb, but it doesn't at the moment. Coming out of Woodcote again, the tyres are still relatively fresh for everyone, so it won't make much of a difference. Becken still manages to hold on to P1 for the moment. Peanuts is falling back a bit from this battle, so I hope for him he can stay in the DRS, because otherwise he might be out of contention for the podium.
Oh, you're already going side by side. What is the thought process behind that one? He backs off as the Alpine Devon Young, trying to assert dominance, as you were saying. Maybe a little bit scared for Devon Young, because he's definitely showing that he's a bit of a beast at the moment. You've got to be careful with that. He's used a lot of energy to try and break away right there, and he's done a very good job of it. Can he break away and maybe get out of DRS? I don't know. You've got two cars behind that have been working together throughout the entirety of this race, so they're just going to be even more difficult to fight with the later on you go, especially if one driver pretty much being set to be in P3 with that time penalty.
Listen, you might not believe what I say here, but Devon Young's thought process was absolutely incredible there. He seen the gap and went for it. He knew that out of cops you get the DRS, so he made overtake just before the line, just after the line, my apologies, and now has a 7/10 advantage, granted with not much battery compared to Beckett and especially Peanuts, but if he could have made it work, which unfortunately for himself he didn't, he would have been set there for potential just running away with it.
It's very true, but it's just Silverstone, innit? It's Silverstone. It's just not going to work. A bottle of water, sorry for the accent right there. But anyway, Oggio, he's almost within DRS range of Dave Raptors, but unfortunately I don't think it's going to work out quite just yet. I say yet because those tyres are definitely going to change out a little bit later on. And Dave Raptors, all he's hoping for is for this race to just kind of end at some point. I know he's in P5 and he doesn't want to finish P5, but it's not going to get any better from him or for him at this point onwards until we get some sort of safety car. Will that happen? I don't quite know. The top three stay as they are. They're going to try and stabilise and maybe focus on battling on the final 5 laps-ish of the race. We've got yet again a kind of train forming at the back. It broke away a little bit. It's like a boy band. They're coming back years later on, and Jaromir and Gilly are the ones who lead that way. They're not fighting each other though. Jaromir could come back later. Do you think, Zingy, that Jaromir will have the advantage and enough of an advantage to actually get in front of Gilly and get that P7?
Well, if Gilly's doing what he's doing right now and just about breaking DRS, Jaromir uses a bit of his battery to get it back. But if Jaromir stays within DRS just for a few laps and starts to close out the gap, which going wide will not help you do, by the way, he should have that advantage come the end where he has an opportunity to overtake. Now, he did get the DRS, he's 1.2 back. That's because the detection point is actually before the DRS zone. That's how that works. So, Jaromir with the DRS, but he needs to cut out these silly mistakes because he is a good driver. But if you keep on making mistakes like that, you're not going to get the DRS, and he could be susceptible to the Alfa Romeo Flex Hard right behind him.
Indeed he could. We've got JJ and the Mercedes of Gunter fighting hard. Gunter earlier on was right up there. JJ as well was right up there, but they've had issues. He's going to try and have a look around the outside, just force the Mercedes to be in an awkward line, maybe go for it on the exit, but no, he's just trying to put the pressure on, and then I think he'll be making a pretty straightforward move. We will continue with the battle with Jaromir, who's got Flexar behind in DRS now, looking pretty close. We also have Mikash going for the move on Ballin, so they're trying to power through, and they're finally into the points, taking that point away from Ballin right now. Ballin's going to have to be on the ball, because as soon as Mikash tries to go for the moves on the other cars in front, then it's going to be his time to pounce and look for maybe even a double overtake to get on, if not Flexard on the same tyre, Jaromir on that slightly disadvantaged tyre as of now.
I just want to draw your attention quickly to this mini battle for P5. Dave Raptor, look at me snapping the car out of exit. He needs to keep it under control there, and he's struggling to do so. Coming onto the welding straight now for the 21st time. Will he be able to make the move? Ogio to the inside. He's going to send it up the inside of Dave Raptors. Will he get the switch back? He's looking for it at the moment. He's not doing it just yet. He's setting up out of Woodcote. Will he get the traction down on those old medium tires? No, it snaps once again. Dave Raptor's car and tyres are just not reacting well in these conditions, and now Ogio is up into the top 5 places.
That is game over. It looks like from Dave Raptors he might be able to fight with the ERS. We've seen Dave Raptors actually race a while back with other cars, and he actually tried to go as far as he could on a set of tyres, and unfortunately got a puncture in the end. He is going to go back for the move. That is Devon Young going for the lead, did you say? Oh
yeah.
no, Beckham's round! I do not believe it! He's made a contact
goodness.
there with Peanuts. Peanuts is going to be furious. That is going to be an absolutely tragic moment there.
And he resets the track. That is what, a 10-second penalty? And look who's there to pick up the spoils. Max Terran, sorry, I need to stop doing that. Is up nearly into the podium positions. He's 1.6 behind. Beckon's tyres are going to be absolutely cooked, just like Dave Raptor's race strategy here, and it looks as though that Ogio is going to look for the move also.
Can he get it done sooner rather than later? I don't know. Regardless, I think this is going to be the only moves that he will be able to make for the end of this race, so he does need to think about the long game. I say long game, the end game, because it's not going to be that straightforward. If Dave Raptors is going to fight hard with the energy, you need to make sure that you focus and use your advantages to your advantage. Otherwise, it's just going to be absolutely pointless. Regardless of if you have an advantage, you will bin it for yourself. Mikash in P8, they've got a bit more time that they need to catch up to get to Gilly. After that, it's going to be very difficult to make any progress, but they've done a very good job. Robbo trying his best to get within the points, but those time penalties are absolutely crippling. Flexard loving life. The car was at Ballant, maybe just going over track limits there, so he's got to be careful that he doesn't do that again. Robbo and JJ are going to be very close, and it's not going to be so straightforward. Will Devon Young get a time penalty? I don't think so. He doesn't need to push, and he's going to look for another win this season.
I just want to draw your attention to the JJ as you're talking about the battle. You might not have telemetry on, I do, just so I know what's going on. As he goes for the move up the inside of Robbo, into Stone, no he doesn't, Robbo hangs it around the outside. What a beautiful defensive manoeuvre, and he stays into P12. And now JJ, I wouldn't be worrying about Gunter, I'd be worrying about that fuel situation. You can see, if you do go on to the telemetry, that little yellow fuel symbol, which means he is in the negative. He's going to have to save, and just like, what was it, Japan? When he ran out of fuel, he's going to have that issue once again.
It seems like it happens a lot to JJ. He does like to go pretty low on the fuel load, as I've seen in the past. I've been his teammate in another league. That is going to be Gunter, unfortunately losing that, and he is going to be down the order. Well, I say down the order, he's not going to lose any positions, but he's going to be out of contention with this battle. Everybody with 3-second time penalties that do have time penalties, except from Peanuts, who has a 5-second time penalty. Will we see Terrence go for the move on Beckon at some point soon? We will see Devon Young lose the position to Peanuts, but I'm sure he's not going to be really worrying too much at the moment. Terrence got a little bit more time if he wants to catch up, but it's not that straightforward because Beckon is quick in a straight line.
Yeah, Terrence, he's got the fresher tyres back in 2 laps. He's closed up that gap ever so slightly. Remember, Beckon did have that spin. I mean, it was his own wrongdoing. He kind of just brought it upon himself. I think he rode the curb like Terrence done there, but lost the car. And now coming on to lap 24, the gap's still 1.1. Beckon will be scared at the prospect of an Aston Martin behind him, because the last time an Aston Martin was in the battle, he seemed to lose the car. So hopefully for his sake, deja vu is not going to occur this race. As you can see, coming out of turn 4, Terrence is within 1 second, but he didn't get the DRS because of the DRS zone being at turn 2.
That Alpine is quick. It's not that easy, even with the tyre disadvantage. Lap 24 out of 26. Not long to go, and that's a big mistake there for Terence, and that is going to look like it's probably going to be game over. The margins were absolutely tiny, and now losing even only with a small little amount, it is going to be enough to probably call that one a day. Becken only has a couple more laps to secure this podium position, and he will be good to go. Dave Raptors and Oggio, this is going to be a battle to watch because it is on track. It is for position. No time penalties involved at the moment. You have Oggio, who's right behind. He has the DRS. He has the DRS advantage, but not track position. They both have a lot of energy, so it's going to be absolutely full pelt. He's going to just spot his braking point to the inside and keep that pressure on Dave Raptors for now.
Yeah, Oggio doing a great job putting Dave Raptors, the championship leader, under pressure. It's like an Into the Barrier episode, if you recall that from many years ago. But Oggio is going to be putting him under pressure once again, coming off the Hamilton straight into turn 1 and 2 now. You can see how close the gap is visibly. You can see that Dave Raptors, watch out at turn 4 here. I hope it happens just so I can demonstrate this. The traction Dave Raptors has, you can see a little wiggle there on exit, and Oggio might have a chance. He's going to use a bit of battery on acceleration. Will that give him enough speed to propel him ahead of Dave Raptors? No, he's going to back out and wait for a better opportunity, perhaps on the last lap.
I think he's on low fuel. He slowed down a lot earlier than I would have expected. I don't know if he's running out of fuel or if he's just on low fuel, but regardless, that's not going to be great. He's got just a lap and a half to go, so he would be probably okay. That is a big mistake there for Dave Raptors. That was almost the end of it all, but very, very, very nicely held from the McLaren, from the championship leader. And also, I should say, Terence was within the DRS range. Did he just about get it?
He didn't get it, no.
Yet again, missing out, and I think that was probably his last chance. He's trying his absolute best, but it's not going to be looking likely, unfortunately. We start the last lap with Peanuts and Devon Young. Devon Young sitting behind 4/10. I think they'll probably want to get it done on the track. They've got a lot of energy. Also, Peanuts has a bit of energy, so they can defend from this one. It doesn't really matter because the positions are the positions. It is what it is, but it's still good to know. Terence 0.2 seconds away now. I think Becken's tried to pick up the pace for the final lap to make sure that he secures this, so fair play to him. But Oggio and Dave Raptors, this is what we need to watch. Would he want to go for a move now, or is he going to go for it later? He's using the energy to already go for it. DRS available, and then he's just going to lift. I don't know why he used the DRS.
I know what he's doing. He's clearly watched the Zingy Masterclass from last night, and he's going to go for it going into Stowe. He's got the battery to do it. Dave Raptors has got so much still in the tank. He's got almost, is that a full battery or something like that, from what I can see. Oggio is now 4/10 back. I think maybe he should have went for the move and tried to compromise Dave Raptors' exit. I'm not sure. If I would have known Dave had that battery, I would have, I wouldn't have guessed anything different. Here comes Devon Young, however, on Peanuts in the last lap. He needs to get, well, he wants to get this on track. He didn't have to. Peanuts is just battling for glory here, coming into the last few corners for the last time of the Grand Prix. Devon Young, Peanuts, who's going to get it? Devon makes a mistake. He's going to bash wheels a little bit. Devon up to the line, and he's done it. Devon Young has won the British Grand Prix.
Absolutely perfect. Dave Raptors is going to hold on just about. I say that, there's a big bit of contact with the curb, but making contact with the curb as well was Oggio. He got a bit too greedy there. P6 for him in the end. Gilly from P-Last to P7, not too bad at all. Mikash making progress from pole position to P8. We're pretty much down at the back. They've done a decent job. Flexar P9 finally scoring points that he deserves. Yaramir P10 finishing the points finishers, and Robbo P11 in the end. Balint, Gunter, Tom Brainer, JJ in P15 after more issues after that, and Gibby, Monk in P17. That was a hell of a race. Robbo just missing, well, I say just 3.7 seconds. He was about 0.7 away from getting points, I believe, in the end. It was a very good effort, but unfortunately, that moment just absolutely ruined it. And for 2 seasons in a row, Robbo scores no points at his home Grand Prix because of a safety car issue. I don't mean to end it on a bad moment there. Gilly getting very well deserved driver of the day. We have Devon Young winning once again, and he's going to try and use this to his advantage and keep or carry some momentum throughout the rest of the season. We are just about to start the second half of the season, and Devon Young is on top. Devon Young wins, Peanuts in P2, Becken, Terrence, Dave Raptors, Ogyo Gilly, Mikas, Flexard, and Yarmir finishing off the top 10. And then we have also him getting fastest lap. And then we have Robbo Balint, Gunter, Tom Brainer in P14, JJ Gibby, Monk, Waldo, and Grajak DNFing. I believe Monk may have disconnected. But we're going to quickly look for the race director just in case if we need to later on. Incidents. As always, track limits are difficult around here, as Zingy will be able to tell you, and pit stops just in case as well. We will be back for the post-race interviews. We will see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome back to the LSI F1.5 EU Championship. We're today for the post-race interviews of the British Grand Prix, and we start with Robbo. Robbo, yet again, another Silverstone race, not scoring any points. Do you think you could have competed for the win today?
Yeah, definitely. The pace was up there. You could tell by our delta after me and Mikash went through the drive-through, we were faster than the leading drivers, and then on the medium stint after us, on the medium when we pitted after the drive-through, we were faster as well. So it was annoying. The drive-through, I think everyone knows the issues with the current VSC system in the corners, and it restarted right as we went into one, me and Mikash, which was the worst timing ever. I think I wasn't even a tenth over the delta. So yeah, that was painful.
That is, yeah, I don't really know what to say about that one because it happens a lot and it's something that we can't really do much about. And it's a shame that it's affected your race so badly. I mean, you did a very good job to try and come back from it, almost so close to get a point. And you also had some good battles. It's a shame for the 5 second that kind of split everything up, but I guess it's the way it goes sometimes. Very good effort. Thank you very much for staying in the race as well, more importantly. Next race, Mexico. Do you like that circuit? Do you think you can do well there? Low traction, maybe. Is that good for you?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea. I don't even think I've raced Mexico on this new game, so I think I'll definitely have to get some practice in. I think I remember from last year's game, it was an alright track, not the best, but not the worst at the same time. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. I think if the pace is the same as it has been in the past, I can definitely aim for a winning podium.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Robbo. It's a shame that the race has gone this way. We will see you next time. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Can I have 4?
Of course you can.
Worst race so far.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Hopefully it goes better next time.
Thanks.
And we move on to Dave Raptors, his teammate. McLaren had a tough day today. You managed to recover it well and secure the position at the end. Will you take that?
I mean, considering I didn't think I was going to turn up to the race, I mean, it's still decent points, and at least I didn't score 0 and try and swap my extending, but, get a couple of points on the board and try and get a couple more points in the championship. But I mean, qualifying was good, very close between, I think, the top 6 really close. I thought it was going to be a brilliant race, but unfortunately, turn 3, I have not really seen what happened, but yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. And then fought back throughout the race to get back up to P5, I think it was.
Right. It's
still a pretty good result, and considering, to be fair, that the DRS trains were just so powerful, you couldn't really catch up to the guys at the front. So I think P5 was the best I could do today anyway. So I mean, I'll take that, and it's just more so now onto next week, and hopefully we can do better there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you can. Better than next week. Mexico, do you like that circuit?
I'm pretty similar to Robbo. I've not actually driven the track, but on last year's game, it was a pretty nice circuit, quite flowing. The only issue is obviously it's quite easy to get travel and warnings around there, so you have really got to be careful. And I think a 3 second panel, 3 seconds or 6 seconds can really bite towards the end of the race, especially with how close the grid is up the front. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes next week.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dave. Well done today. Great recovery. I know it's not what you wanted, but you're still the championship leader. We'll see you next time. One last question. 3 words.
Always forgot. I'll just say pretty decent recovery.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today.
Cheers.
And we move on to Devon Young. Devon, wow, that was a race and a half. It was up, it was down. You managed to get the job done. And your rivals were down the order. You've gained a lot of points today.
Yeah, obviously I'm quite happy with the result, but despite getting the win, I think I have to sort of realise that I maybe did get quite lucky with, like you said, my rivals being down the order through no fault of their own. So good result, but not going to celebrate it too much because of maybe a bit of luck in my hands.
Fair enough. I mean, you did a very good job and you still deserve it at least, so well done. That is brilliant for the championship. Continuing for the championship, now over the halfway line, Mexico. Do you like that circuit? Do you think you can have an advantage there? Straight line speed, high downforce. I'm not going to ask what you'll go for, but do you like the circuit?
Yeah, I quite like Mexico. I think it's one of my stronger circuits. I quite just like doing laps around there. I think it's got quite a mix of sort of. It's just got quite a mix of corners. I think it's just quite fun. So yeah, maybe one of my stronger tracks. And I'm quite looking forward to race there.
Awesome. That is like very, very rare. Looking forward to race at Mexico. Thank you very much, Devon. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I'll take it.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you.
And we move on to Flexard. Flexard, that's points in the end. Are you happy with that one, or maybe not so much? I don't know. You gave it your best shot.
Yeah, so first of all, I got taken out in the first lap. But as a result, I had quite a few battles, and I quite enjoyed them. So they had a lot of fun. So in the end, it was totally worth it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's good to see you finally up there and getting those points as you deserve. Well done today. Mexico, do you like that circuit? Are you one of those people that actually like the circuit and maybe have a mental advantage over everyone else?
Nah, well, again, I don't have any experience on this year's game, but I think last year I had some problems with the setup, like high or low downforce. And I got overtaken a lot, so yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
Awesome. Well, hopefully it goes well for you there. Well done today. Great effort. Thank you very much for some good racing today. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Quite fun, exciting, but also hard. Yeah.
Thank you very much. One last question. No, never mind. Yes. One last question. What time do you think I should go to bed? I think that's what I should be saying. Thank you very much, Flexard. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Well done today.
See you.
We move on to Yarmir. Yarmir, that was a race and a half. You had some nice battles with your teammate, and later on with the Ferraris. Can you take us through that one?
Oh yeah, I was in a Red Bull.
Yeah.
It's all right. I don't know. I had an hour and a half practice because, as you know, I've been sweating PSGL time trials. So that was my focus this week. I literally had just this afternoon a bit of practice and then and went on with it. But yeah, it was good. It wasn't bad.
Fair enough.
I was told that I could have pushed a little bit more towards the end because of the penalty that Flexhard had, but I found it was a good race regardless.
Yeah, well done. Mexico.
Yeah.
Do you like that circuit? Have you
No.
driven there a lot? No? Okay, fair enough.
No and no.
Awesome.
No, it's I think it's because I haven't driven it a lot actually, because I kind of do like it. I like the stadium section somehow. I like it when these cars are made to go karting instead of fast stuff. It's nice. They feel pretty good in this game, so.
Well, hopefully you can do well there if you do race. If not, then I'm glad you like the circuit. Really well done today. And one last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Not half bad.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Cheers, mate.
We move on to Ogio. That was a tough one. Just missing out at the end. Can you take us through it?
Yeah, obviously I had my half spin at the start, so that wasn't ideal. But I still managed to pull away from DRS chain, which was nice.
Yeah.
But Dave, he was just so quick on the straights. He was running like 0 wings or something. Must have.
Do you think you maybe would have been able to get him maybe a lap later, or if I don't know. It was difficult on the ERS, of course. You both had a lot to use in the final laps, but do you think maybe tyre wear, if it got a little bit worse for Dave, you'd have been able to go for it?
No, I think I had a lot more pace than him when I just caught up, because then, because how the tires thing works is just on the first 25% you have low grip, and then it's just the same to like 60, I think.
Mm.
So we were basically on the same grip if he wasn't over 60, which I doubt he was.
Fair enough.
So when I caught up to him, I had like 20% tire wear. So then I think I could have passed him. If the race was a bit shorter, I could have passed him.
Okay, fair enough. You needed less laps then. Right.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right. Well, Mexico tire wear is going to be interesting there because grip is important. Do you think you can do well there?
No.
No. We can't see
I hate the
another
track.
of your podium.
No. It's the worst track on the calendar.
I like the optimism. And I will say thank you very much and well done today. Great effort. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Spin me round.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Thank you.
And we move on to Peanuts. That is a P2. Not going to be what you wanted, but still, second race. You've done a decent job there.
Sorry, I was muted.
No worries.
No, I feel like the race was pretty good, actually. I mean, the pace was there. For one of my, worst tracks on the game, I think I did pretty well. I tried to keep out of, trouble into turn 1, but I was just a passenger. I got rammed from behind, so I rammed into somebody else. I think I took out the McLaren.
Right.
But I couldn't do anything. I see it as a racing incident, or from my point of view, because I got fully rammed from behind. I did a clumsy mistake going into pits, got 5 seconds. Felt like I had a little more pace than Devin there, because we were just, me and Becken, the guy who came in third, were just chilling behind. In the call, had like 100 ERS, and I fucked it with, I don't know if I could swear, I'm sorry. I know you're streaming.
No worries.
But I kind of screwed it up with trying to go into pits. I braked a little too late. Super clumsy mistake. I was fighting Devin for the win. But it was very tough racing between us. There was a few points throughout. I was kind of scared because I felt like I was being pushed off track before we even made to a corner. But in the end, I had to just be tentative, or take it, calm down, and just make sure that I survive. Because I wasn't really in the race at the end there with the 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's fair enough, and well done to stay in it. The 5 seconds is absolutely heartbreaking, but you still did a good job. Mexico, do you think you can carry this good pace and actually finally go one step further and win the race and prove where you deserve to be?
So here's the thing. I absolutely hate Mexico. Absolutely one of my worst tracks on the game. But, I'm a little optimistic because, I've raced in a different league race series with Devin, where I finished second in that race. So, anything could happen. I did almost a last to first. And I somehow ended up second, which is now my tied best league result ever, and I'm hoping I could build on this consistency, being in the top 5 every race so far, but I've only done 2, so not a big flex.
You've done a good job, and it's getting there. So I think you can definitely do it. Well done, and hopefully it goes well for you in Mexico. One last question, if you can you describe your race in 3 words?
Terrifying. And no 3 words. So, it's just terrifying. It's one word.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much. It was some great racing today. Very enjoyable. And we'll see you next time. Hopefully it goes well for you there. Thank you.
Thank you.
We move on to Terence. That was potentially I'm just going to say, because I can't confirm it yet, a podium. There was a reset to track in front of you, which might allow you to get that podium. For now, we'll say it's a P4. Are you happy with that race?
Yeah, I happy with that race, but it's quite boring, because I can't catch up to the front, and my back can't pick up the pace with me, so just a lonely race, I think. But I want to did it on track really on the last few laps, but I pick up my throttles a bit earlier. Then I just had a little spin, so I'm still happy with that one because I can't imagine. I can't imagine that still Silverstone is a track that everyone like it, but I can still did it
Yeah.
well. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you did a very good job, and it's great to see you on the podium and getting those epic points. Yet again, I will mention it, and I know I mention it every week, but the dedication for this guy, you deserve a podium every race, if not a win. So well done. Very, very good job. Mexico, do you like it there? Do you think you can do well?
I don't like it, but I will do a lot exercise on the track. So I hope I can get a podium next race.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Terence, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
No, I would say one word, it's boring.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you.
And we move on to Tom Brainerd. Tom, lots of racing going on, but unfortunately, it just wasn't your day today.
I don't know.
Strategy.
Again, lost the front wing. Strategy was good. That was not the problem. Lost the front wing in turn 3. Yet again, without much I could do. And then I drove the whole time behind all the guys. Was completely alone. Had a very good pace. Set the second best time. Overall, I don't know. Without these problems that I've got, it would be so much better. I mean, I could have fought for the 5th place, at least got the 7th place without the first box pit stop. I don't know.
It's difficult. It is very difficult, but I mean, you tried, and that's all that matters. And deep down, as long as you know that you gave it your best shot, then you can try and carry that as a positive thing. You know, we've seen people in the past, they have bad races and then they retire the car, and those DNFs mound up over the season and all of a sudden become a bit of a mental disadvantage. So you still finish the race and you should be happy with that one. So well done for that. Mexico, points. We need to get them there. Do you think you can do it?
There speaks nothing against it. I think I will have, again, good pace for like 7th, 8th place. I just need to get it over the finish line with no penalties, with no crashes, and then I'm fine to go.
Awesome. I like it. Hopefully it goes well for you there. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Why always me?
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort. And that has been it. I will pass you over to Zingy to finish off the stream. Maybe I won't. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure. We will see you next weekend for the Mexican Grand Prix. It's been an awesome one. Great Britain, always a great track for racing. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.